What's up guys, welcome to a new Record of Ragnarok Shuumatsu no Valkyrie What If battle. Today we have Hercules representing the gods up against Raiden for humanity. I'll cover each character's power and abilities before I get into how the fight will play out and who I think will win. Make sure to let me know down in the comments what Record of Ragnarok What If battle you want next and any ideas on how I can improve these What If battles. Now onto the video. Help me reach my 2021 goal of 100k subscribers by subscribing if you're new to the channel or you just haven't already. It's free and easy to do. Also consider checking out the description for the Discord server and my Twitter. Now, enjoy the video. I'll start with our boy Hercules. He faced Jack the Ripper in the 4th round of Ragnarok and was defeated. This defeat was mainly due to allowing Jack to fight in London and Jack being way more tactical to outplay Hercules throughout the fight, who in my opinion is superior all around in, physical based stats. This won't really be an issue in the Raiden fight, as a regular arena will be used and it will be two Chads that don't dodge and just lay blows into each other. I'll cover now what Hercules was able to showcase throughout his fight. Hercules getting ready to jump shows this with a massive, cracking and crater based thing in the ground, which is pretty impressive. The true power of Hercules is described by Ares. Hercules possessing the will that even the gods could not break. You could say that Adam has the strongest will of humanity and Hercules of the gods, but out of the two I'll still say Adam has a stronger will than Hercules, but it is pretty close. In Hercules Backstory we learn about the blood of Zeus and the legend which says if consumed by a hero it could grant an eternal body and that person will become similar to power in Zeus. If the person is not a true hero, that person will have instant death. Hercules was able to tank an attack from Ares while human and then later on drank the blood of Zeus, which allowed him to transform and survive. This immensely shocked Ares, making him see Zeus within Hercules as shown here, which is pretty interesting. It's stated that he gained the strength of Zeus according to Ares here. After his transformation, Hercules was able to destroy all the vanguards of the gods that came with Ares and have an equal fight with Ares. However, the fight was stopped by Zeus without any difficulty, with Zeus being in his base form. You could say that Hercules was just weakened from fighting all the vanguards and Ares, but I would still argue that he doesn't have the full strength of Zeus and it's more at a base level rather than the whole thing. So in reality, Hercules at this point isn't really close to Zeus in strength. Ares also mentioned that Zeus saved him and that he would have been in danger if the fight continued with Hercules, meaning Hercules would have most likely won the fight if Zeus didn't come in, showing that once Hercules drank the blood of Zeus, he's already above Ares, who we kind of know throughout the series is kind of trash, kind of getting made fun of by many of the other gods and isn't the most impressive god that we've seen in the series. After this, Hercules became an official god. When returning to the present, we had Loki being a troll by saying, "But he only fought you to a draw, then isn't he in trouble now?" So Loki is aware of how trash Ares is as well, and Hermes said that nowadays you could barely hold a candle to him, showing how much Hercules has improved since then, and how, many of the other gods don't see Ares as too powerful, which I pretty much have said for a long time now. Loki also points out the weakness of Hercules, how he fights very similar to Raiden, trying to overpower the competition rather than being tactical or dodging any attacks really, which is why I really wanted to do this what if battle. When Hercules used his first laser, it created a big shockwave and damaged the ground around him, but it didn't finish Jack or do too much damage to him in my opinion, as shown here. We also learned that Hercules using these laser techniques also have a rebound, with the tattoo spreading causing immense pain, and if the tattoo covers his whole body from using these techniques too much, Hercules would eventually die. Hercules was also shown to be very agile, but this won't really be a factor in the fight against Raiden, as the two won't really dodge each other's attacks and it'll be more of a brawl going back and forth between the two. The 8th labor was able to create a powerful gust of wind, which could be used as a counter. Hercules was able to knock down the clock tower with regular strikes, which is absolutely insane. Even after having his arm chopped off, he was able to stay calm, think logically without making any signs of fear or pain, which is just insane feats regarding his will and how much he can really tank. He used the 12th labor, Hound of Hades Cerberus, which is his transformation. This transformation is also a double-edged sword, as Zeus outlines. That skill possesses an overwhelming capacity for destruction. However, it takes a large toll on the user, e.g. the tattoo slowly spreading and killing Hercules. The impact of Hercules' punch with one arm in this form is absolutely insane, as shown here. He was able to land a punch on Jack with Ares saying one direct hit and he'll be done, but Jack was still alive and fine to fight, which is kind of weird in my opinion. Hercules was able to survive a whole building falling on him. That's also a divine weapon thanks to Jack's power. He landed another hit on Jack, but Jack was still alive, which really doesn't make any sense at all. Again, but Jack is still alive. Again, you could argue that Hercules could have finished Jack here, but you can also say that he didn't have the power left to do so, and that leaving with this line was all he could really do. This is backed up by the next page, which says the following: even in the end, he lost the strength to fight. This is some other gods talking. Now onto our boy Raiden, the greatest sumo wrestler who reigned supreme for over 20 years while holding back, who faced the strongest Indian god in the 5th round and was defeated high difficulty, with him being able to destroy 3 out of Shiva's 4 arms. The volume was pretty much his muscles, so his whole body is a weapon that can harm the gods. He's also described as the strongest fighter in history when controlling his muscles at full release, but take this statement however you want. He's later described as the man in all of human history with the strongest muscles, with him being able to destroy Shiva's arms with his raw power by crushing it, shocking even Zeus with this goofy funny looking face from him. Raiden only started being at a disadvantage when Shiva started dancing, making him too hard to hit. This won't be a factor in the Hercules battle, as either of them won't be dodging one another's attacks. Shiva's base form strikes were able to deal damage and actually make Raiden bleed. For Raiden to crush Shiva's arms, he needed to focus all his strength into his hands to do so. He was also able to tank blows easy when using his big puffy muscles as a shield. Raiden's defense started to fail once Shiva started using fire with his strikes, or was going so fast he pretty much turned into fire, and later on when he activated his transformation. He was able to use an attack that destroyed 2 of Shiva's arms that were used to block the attack and damage him severely. That very strike impressed Zeus, with it even holding back sound. That's how powerful it was. However, using that attack comes at a great risk. It has recoil that also severely damages Raiden, with him being able to use that attack 2 times before he can't continue, as shown in the fight. Now onto the what if battle. The speed of the 2 characters won't be relevant in this fight, as neither of them will try and dodge the other's attacks, so the winner will be decided by whose attacks are stronger and who can tank more, a back and forth of blows to see who the biggest chat is of the 2. Raiden's power is shown with his ultimate technique that can almost one-shot Shiva, with it taking off 2 of his arms with a single attack that was used to block it. However, he can only use this attack 2 times. Hercules in base form, I would say he's inferior to Raiden, with his ultimate attack being far too much for Hercules base form. Base to base, I would even say Raiden has a slight advantage over Hercules, but you could argue the other way. When Hercules transforms into his Cerberus form, this is when I think he has the strength advantage, with his great hero blow being able to create massive craters. However, Jack was able to tank multiple direct hits from this Hercules, which doesn't really make too much sense, as nothing was stated about Jack's defense being that good, which honestly to this day doesn't make sense to me. However, since Raiden is limited with 2 strikes being his most powerful, Hercules has the strength advantage, being able to unleash a lot more strikes compared to Raiden at a high level of power, even though one could say Raiden's 2 punches or 2 ultimate strikes are stronger than anything Hercules can dish out. I would argue they're kinda close in strength, and Hercules is able to dish out more attacks, which will end up resulting in Hercules having more power overall in the fight until the tattoo kills him. So that's how I see it. Now to cover defense. Raiden has a defensive based technique with his muscles that creates some type of shield, with that preventing Shiva from doing any real damage until he unlocked and used the fire. Apart from using the shield, Raiden tanked tons of attacks from Shiva with and without the fire, being considered as the human with the strongest muscles. However, throughout the fight he did show signs of pain, whether it be from the recoil of his own attacks or from Shiva's fire. Hercules was able to tank tons of knives landing on him from Jack, a whole building turned into a divine weapon falling on him, his arm getting chopped off, his tattoo causing pain without even showing one sign of him being in pain throughout the whole fight, and continuing to push forward. I'd say Raiden with his defense muscles has a better defense, but Hercules' pain tolerance is next level alongside his will, and a building landing on him and surviving is just absolutely insane. The question is whether Raiden will be able to finish Hercules with these two ultimate attacks, which will result in his win, and if I'm being honest, I don't think so. For sure, Hercules can tank one, and I'd say one of those attacks is equal to Jack's building attack, so tanking 2 is very possible for Hercules. I'd say Raiden can tank a lot more attacks from Hercules even in his Cerberus form, because Jack tanked a lot more than what he really should have, or pretty much based on what was said what he really should have. However, with Hercules using the other labors and being able to dish out more power for a long amount of time, I think he will eventually wear Raiden down, and Raiden with his basic attacks against Hercules' basic attacks, it's pretty much equal, with Hercules possibly tanking more of those and taking less damage due to transforming into his Cerberus form and his basic attacks being higher than Raiden. In summary, I think the fight will be very long, a long back and forth going bang bang bang, but the recoil of Raiden using his ultimate attack will end up being too much, with Hercules being able to tank 2 of them. So in my opinion, I think Hercules would win this fight super high difficulty. I think Hercules' pain tolerance and will pretty much push him over the edge. Base to base, Raiden has the advantage, but once entering the Cerberus form, Hercules has the advantage, and the will he had shown throughout the Jack fight is just too insane. There could be an argument made that Hercules, even in his Cerberus form, won't be able to damage Raiden too much, considering Jack was able to tank so many attacks from Hercules, but honestly, I think that's just a bit of a weird thing, and I don't think Raiden will be pretty much God mode immortal from auto Cerberus attack, considering the massive craters it created, and with the use of other labors to eventually pretty much defeat Raiden, and for Raiden to rely on his ultimate attacks to defeat Hercules, and Hercules surviving them will eventually get him the win. Let me know what you think down in the comments, whether you agree or disagree with me. I'd love to hear what you have to say, but yep, that's it for today's What If battle. Hope you enjoyed. Peace.